All right, we continue on the show here, and there is always something exciting going on in our national parks. Joining us is Keena Lewis and Amanda O'Brien. We are talking about this weekend's cleanup and next weekend's trail opening. Happy trails to the both of you.
Thank you.
Starting out on a Western theme, but trails are something that we have no shortage of here on Guam, ladies, and everything like that. We'll get into the mechanics of the upcoming event and everything like that, but for people that may have just arrived to the island or people that have, been away from paradise for a while and just come back and everything like that, explain what the Park Service does, Keena, first, like to make sure that everybody enjoys, appreciates, and respects what we have.
So definitely, yes, the park is here it's a good way to get an orientation if you're new to the island about our history or about our background. Our mission at our park is to strive to preserve and protect that history, our culture, our traditions, as well as our natural resources. So the park is a good place to kind of start if you want to have a nice orientation to the island, or if you just want to come out and check out what's going on in the community. We're here for those purposes.
And few people walking God's green earth are as passionate about sharing everything that is wonderful from a natural sense and a historical perspective as you and your colleagues.
Yes, definitely. My colleagues we all have either a passion for the history and culture, or we have a passion for natural resources, but a lot of the times it just blends together, and we all share those kinds of passions.
Well, Amanda, the tradition continues, and we are introducing new Guamanians and old Guamanians with new things coming up, so I'd love to hear all about that.
Yeah, so we next weekend, June 16th, we're going to have the Asan Ridge Trail opening ceremony. And what we did was we looked at our park, and we do a really great job of getting the history of World War II out to the public. But we don't always focus on the natural resources or the cultural. So we got a national grant, and we were able to put new signs along Asan Ridge Trail that focus on the culturally and traditionally important plants that we have growing there at Asan Ridge Trail. Yep. And we called our project Amit Zonninkano. So it's medicine and food. And so we get to really talk about what all these plants are used for here on Guam.
Very cool. Now, Keena, it's interesting because when I was growing up here, and I'm old enough to remember when we would take field trips or we would have like guided tours there, and without that signage that Amanda was just talking about, we were all taught that that's very important as far as our history. It's hallowed ground. You treat that part of the island with the utmost respect because it plays such a central part in who we are. But at the same time, we really didn't have, literally the signposts and everything to say, this is what happened here, this is what happened over here. And now with the thing to appreciate the flora and fauna, this is why this is important for medicinal purposes and everything. So what does this do for you as a guide and, as visual aids?
Well, definitely, if you don't have the opportunity to visit our park in a field trip or a guided kind of setting, you can now go out there on your own with your family and walk the trail and read all the information. And just, when you go out into the trail, you're not just looking at Tangantongan and other things, but you're actually really looking in detail to the different kinds of plants that they have there. And then just kind of coming to an understanding of their uses, that they're not just nice green plants, but they actually have purposes.
How long did it take to put this whole thing together, Amanda? Because getting a grant, that's a whole ball of wax in and of itself and everything like that. But now with the funding secured, how long does it take to put the signs together, erect them, and set it all up?
Yeah, so this has been a couple years in the making. We got the grant in 2017, and we, in addition to the new signage, we also had an education component. We partnered with DYA Hadza Youth Center, and we brought about 30 of their kids out, and we had an educational camp for a week in April of 2017. And we took them up to Amit Farm up north, and they visited with Surahana Bernice Nelson, and she told them about some of these plants and why they're so culturally important. And we took them around the park, we told them the history, and then for a week they helped us clean our trail. And they learned which plants are invasive and which plants traditionally grow here. And they became real stewards of our park. And we're hoping most of them can make it out next weekend. We're going to be offering busing to them from the Hadza Youth Center to come back out to join us for the opening ceremony, because they are such a big part of why we did this project. Was not just for the greater island community to come and enjoy the signs, but to educate the youth and to get them passionate about their island and our park.
I gotta ask, because we do a fair amount of advertising here at KUN. What is it like to put all those signs around the park, but not go too overboard and not say like we're using the Starbucks approach where we've got a sign like literally every 2 square feet and everything like that. While keeping with the fact that it's open air, that you've got this lush array of color and of the smells, the wind, and everything like that. Like how do you balance enough signage to provide the right information without being too excessive?
Yeah, our park works really hard to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the area, we maintain the integrity of the natural resources. So it's not like just, oh, let's put a sign there. We really talk about it, and we have experts who come out to tell us, oh, well, this is a good area. It won't impede our visitors from enjoying this area. It's good because it's in an eye-catching spot, but it's not too big or too small so that it would impede others from looking and being able to learn a little bit. So, and then we try not to make it where it's too much information at one time. So just to kind of whet people's appetite about the kinds of plants that we have there, and then when on their own they can go out and learn a little bit more about it too.
And let's close on that, because I really like what you said about, families can go there on their own. If they're not part of a guided tour, they can still get all the information that's pertinent to them. So if people would like to do that on their own, what time can they check that out?
So the opening is at 9 o'clock.
It's at 9 o'clock
on the 16th. So Amanda can talk about more with the schedule.
Yeah, so we're going to start at 9. We'll have a few welcoming remarks and history of the trail. We're also having Guma Tautano come out, and they're going to do the opening blessing for us. And we'll have a ribbon cutting, and then it'll be open for people to come and explore with their families. And what's great is on the signs we included a QR code. So if you have your cell phone,
nice.
you can click on that QR code. It takes you directly to our website and to the page that links up with one of the 6 specific plants that we're highlighting.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try that out.
Yeah.
See, even you take the nerd out of the studio, but you can never truly take the studio out of the nerd. That's my MO. Ladies, thank you so much. And real quick before we go, how long does it take to go like around the trail to fully get the experience?
You can do it pretty quickly, but if you're really reading everything and you want to walk the whole trail, I would recommend about 45 minutes.
Okay, that's a good way to spend an afternoon, or even a lunch hour. Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We can't wait to check it out.
Thank you.
All right, please stay tuned, everyone. We are back after this.